So let's see if we can do an example of an animation on the camera as like an opening animation. So when the game starts, our camera kind of flies into position and then we can start playing. So if I select the camera and see where it is currently, I want this to be the kind of final position at the end of the animation. So I want to make note of this orientation, this position and rotation. Maybe I'll pick, kind of change it, adjust it to nicer numbers. 17.7. Oops. 17.7. There we go. 15 and negative 22.5. And then for the rotation, let's do 15.5 and negative 38. Okay. I guess I'm going to write that down. Alright, so now what we want to do is move the camera into where we want it to be at the beginning of the animation, and then we'll have it smoothly transition between the two. And we could have multiple waypoints along the way, but let's just start with beginning and end and see if we can make that work. So I'm thinking it might be cool to have the camera inside the castle to start with, maybe, and then have it kind of fly out and then go to where it's supposed to be. So maybe I'll position the camera here to start with. Alright, so I'm going to move my scene view camera where I want the main camera, then select the main camera, go to game object, and choose align with view. So now the camera is here, although it's an orthographic camera, so that's going to look kind of weird, isn't it? You know what, maybe it'll need to be perspective for this animation and then change to orthographic once it gets into position. I didn't think about the fact that our camera is orthographic, so it would look weird trying to fly through the scene. So let's change it to perspective just for this animation. Let's see if we can get it to work. I don't know. Alright, so now we want to open the animator window, or animation window, not animator. Windows, animation, animation. And we're going to dock this maybe down here. Here we go. And we have the main camera selected, and we're going to click the create button to create an animation. And we want to save this in our animation folder under assets. So I'm just going to call this camera well, I'll just call it camera because it's an animation. Okay. And so we're at frame 0 selected currently here. 60 frames per second, that's fine. We can have the entire animation takes 1 second. So if we click this record button right here, now we can move the camera back into the other position and rotation. So do that. Oh, actually, before we change it, we want to move the frame from frame 0 to frame 60, 1 minute or 1 second, and then change it so that this selection bar is editing the correct keyframe. Okay, now I'm going to change it to the other position. Negative 22.5, and this was 15.5, and this was negative 38, and this one should be 0. Okay. Alright, so if we stop the animation record mode now, we should have this animation that we can play. You can see in the little preview there, the camera is flying. Oh, yeah, that's pretty cool. Let's see if we can add a stop so it goes through the door and then over to its position. So maybe not quite halfway, maybe part of the way when it's going like around this time, we want it to be through the door. So let me go back to record mode, and I'm just going to fly my scene view camera through here. So we want the camera to be here at this time. So now I'm going to select the main camera, game object, align with view, and that adds a keyframe at this spot for the camera to be there so that it should fly the rest of the way. So I'll turn record mode off, and now we can see it going through the door, flying over, spinning around. Sweet. Okay. So that should give us this animation. Now, to get the animation to play on the camera, we need the camera to have an animator controller, which looks like it does right here. So I don't know why it already has an animator on it. I guess I just need to enable it. If your camera doesn't have an animator, then just add component animator. Looks like maybe it comes with one. And then if we go to the animator window with the camera selected, we can see the state machine for that animation, for the animator. And the animation clip that we created looks like it probably attached the animator when we created that clip for it, because it's already assigned that and it's made it its entry. So in this case, we want the animation to play as soon as the game starts. So I think that's fine that it goes right into this animation. But we only want the animation to play through once and then stop. So we want to make sure that the animation is not set to loop, which I think it is set to loop by default. So if we go to the animation asset folder and find our camera animation, it is set loop time checked, so we want to uncheck that. Okay, so I don't know, let's just play and see if we get our opening camera animation. There you go. So it was a little fast. We can maybe slow it down by slowing the rate. And then we could leave it in the perspective view, but maybe we want to change the final position so we can see everything better. Or we could have a script that changes the camera to orthographic after the end of the animation. But maybe we'll just leave it in perspective. Let's see. So we go back to the animation window, select the camera. Let me go to this final position here, and let's try to find a better final position since we're in a perspective view where we can see the whole thing. I don't know, something like this. Sure, let's go with that. Okay, so I want to make this the new ending position. I'm going to go back to record mode, and we're on that final keyframe. And then I want to select the main camera, game object, align with view. There we go. And I can stop the record mode. And if I go back to the animator and select the camera animation state here, I can change the speed of the animation to slow it down a little bit if we want it to be a little more gradual. Let's try 0.8. Alright, let's see what that looks like. There you go. Still pretty fast, but that's good. Alright, we got our guy running around. Okay. So then the next thing, someone did ask about making the image for the health bar, how to get it to be transparent in the center so that the health is visible through there. One thing I've noticed is that the health bar is no longer responding to the damage, so we'll have to figure out why that is too. But I'll show you again how I created the health bar image. Okay, so the first thing you need is the image that you want to use for the health bar, and you just use your favorite AI to generate an image, and you might have to play around with different prompts to get something that would work. But I got, let's see, I got this one that could work, and of course it's at a funky angle, and we need to remove the center area, make it transparent so we can see the actual health bar behind it. And for something like Photoshop would be good for that. But something that's quick and easy and that you might already have if you don't have access to Photoshop is actually just PowerPoint. So if you open a new PowerPoint and paste your image that you got with your health bar into, paste the image, there we go. We can use PowerPoint to rotate it so that it's the right orientation, but we can also use the little under picture format, remove background, to make the parts of it transparent that we need transparent. You do normally have to use these little tools to adjust it, so it's like all the purple stuff is being deleted and made transparent, so anything that's purple that we want to keep, we need to draw over and tell it, hey, keep these parts. And then parts that we want transparent that it didn't make purple, we want to mark those areas to remove. So I want to mark all of this stuff in the center here to get rid of it. And we could try to keep some of those white highlights to keep in front of the red. Might look good, make it look like it's glass. So let's see if we can do that. We want to keep all of that, keep that, keep that, keep that, and that, and that, and that. I'll get rid of that in between there. Yeah, pretty good. Sometimes it does a better job than other times. Okay. Sometimes it's a little tedious. Usually, eventually, I'm able to get it to do what I want. Okay, looks like that's good enough. So keep that. Now we can right-click and save the picture, or you can use snip to snip it and then save that image. Make sure you save it as a PNG so that it'll maintain the transparency, not a JPEG. And then we can just import that image that we saved into our assets folders. Go to textures. Yeah, there's the other health bar. I'll go ahead and put this one in as well. Health bar 2. There we go. And when you import it, set it to Sprite 2D and UI, and yes, good. Oh, save, apply. Actually, I don't think this one ended up with transparency. I think I need to try saving it. See, so if you use the snip, it's not going to have transparency. So just right-click and save picture as. Let's try that. Yes, delete, go. Let's try it again. Sprite 2D, apply. Okay, now it has transparency. There we go. And then in your canvas, then you can just add. You're gonna add 2 images to your canvas. one of them for the health bar border, and the other for the health bar itself. And that one should just be a solid image that you can set the image type to filled horizontal and choose a color for it so that you can see it fill and unfill. And then make sure that the border is in front of the color. And the order that they appear on the canvas has to do with the order that they are in the inspector window here. So you can drag to rearrange them. So like right now, the red is in front of the border, which is not what I want. So I drag the border below the health bar color and it goes in front. Yeah. Okay, and I think that's probably all we'll do today. I did want to slow down my animation a little bit more because it still seemed pretty fast. But I think that's good for today. Well, the next thing we want to do is get our knight to be able to attack the drones, play the attack animation. So we'll create some code in the script for that. There you go, that's pretty good. Opening animation, kind of like that. But right now our knight is kind of useless because not attacking the drones. Oh, let's see if we can figure out why is the health bar not going down when the castle is attacked. Let's see, what script is that? I'm gonna debug this. It's got to be the castle health script, right? And so so on trigger enter, if it collides with the robot, health is supposed to go down. And it's using on trigger enter. Let's make sure is the castle. Oh, you know what? The castle doesn't seem to have the script on it. That would probably be the reason it's not working. So we need to add this castle health script onto the castle. Give it a max health, I don't know, maybe 100, and give it a reference to the health bar. That would be the color fill health bar, not the border. So this one right here, drop it there. All right, let's see if that fixed it. There we go. Now we're losing health when the drones attack. All right, that'll do it for today.